It's an awesome name to say, FootballChacha. FootballChacha again. The kind of goals we've scored in the I-League and the ISL this year are world-class goals. If you don't give game time to your striker, then you keep on asking where's the next Sunil Chhetri. That's a very stupid question to ask. I'll tell you, who should be head of Indian football? जिसको जब इंडिया अफगानिस्तान या बांग्लादेश से हारता है, जिसको दर्द होती है ना यहाँ पे,
So do you think so where does this root from? I mean, do we have a lack of good coaches, or are the coaches themselves?
It's not the coaches' fault. Is you are making it impossible for the coaches to get licenses. See, it's a very vicious cycle. I used to understand. I couldn't understand. Then I figured out. See, normally I'll tell you salaries right now: D license, C license, B license, A license.
Right.
D license is around 15 to 20,000 max. C license is around 30, 35 max. B license is around 60, and A license you will probably get for around 1 lakh. Okay, or 80, 90,000 minimum, going up to 1 lakh. Now, you have these four. Now, what does the licenses cost? So, a D license will cost you 30,000, but the salary for a D license is 15 to 20,000. But you have to miss out 15 days and pay for that, and maybe you get it, maybe you don't, because it's an exam. Maybe you don't make it.
So try
then
again.
you are okay. Then you are a D license, but your salary is 20. But you need to go for C license, where it will cost you around 60,000 rupees to get that license. So 60. Why? Because it will be 25,000 rupees fees. Then 1 month of staying there, wherever you are staying, will cost you 15, 20,000.
Right.
And then going there and coming back, milakar, the cost will be 60,000 rupees for a C license. Same with a B license, will be at least minimum 1 lakh rupees, because you're taking out 2 months from your life. And that 2 months salary you will not get, plus the course fees, plus staying there for 2 different months. Then A license will cost you 2-3 lakh rupees, whereas the maximum salary you can make as a B license is 60,000 rupees. So how many people do you know who can go in? It's a chance, it's a lottery. So yes, maybe you're very good, but there still is a chance that you might fail the A license and you just spend 2 lakh rupees. And next time I'll be able to save 2 lakh rupees and give it. It'll take 2 more years.
Impossible for somebody who earns 50,000.
Give up. People fail one time and they just give up because they think they're just putting money down. My aim, how did Belgium become #1, guys? How did it become? It just overnight, it started giving license. I'm not giving them merit based, but giving them out means they made it like for 100 euros. Okay. And that's the way you make coaching like education. See, why don't you
it is education
class 1, 2, 3, 5, 10? Why don't you charge them bombs of 10 lakh rupees? Because that fucker can go and become a space engineer one day, become a NASA scientist one day. So you have to charge the KG people or class 1, 2, 3 people. No, man. Education is a right. So coaching education is a right. If you want to develop your players, you have to make it suitable for even the lowest strata of society. And where are the footballers going to be produced from? And coaches from the lowest strata of society. You have to empower them. It has to be so cheap that he can't think about it twice before trying again for another B license or an A license. So Belgium has every second high school teacher is a B license. So the lowest people, when the kids are growing up, their gym teacher is a B license coach. That is why look at the players they produced in the last 15 years.
I am sorry I keep going back to the European part of the world for football, but I have 2 very amazing examples. So Maurizio Sarri, the current Juventus manager, he was an accountant till the age of 54, 55. उसको फिर interest आया football में. He got badges. He went into coaching. Now he's winning trophies everywhere. That is something that you're not going to see happening in India. Secondly, अब जैसे I'm just asking your opinion on this. We have Barcelona's presence in India. We have Arsenal's presence in India. They are there to coach young children, under 7, under 9, under 11s. Do you think that is is that a good part or a bad part of the whole setup?
They are here for earning money. Because if their aim was to actually develop, it would have been really cheap.
Yeah.
But Arsenal schools, PSG schools, Man U schools, I have seen the charges are so high. They are so astronomical. For 10 days, they're charging 15,000 bucks. So they are not here for the right reasons. And trust me, they will not make any fans. They will not make any fans.
No. Exactly.
Yeah. So it'll probably be that kid who probably is a Man U fan. He'll go to that academy and get ripped off and have a very sour taste in his mouth, probably want to change his club. So they are doing themselves a disservice by coming here and trying to earn money from us or try to sell shirts to us. They need to first make sure that they actually make them fall in love with the club because of what the club does.
So basically the philosophies of the European clubs are not flowing down through to the Indian.
You actually see, that's the point. Even if they were charging money and their coaches were giving the philosophy of PSG, Barcelona and all those things. But I know some Barca coaches and PSG coaches who were working that. And they were saying that we were not given any curriculum. It was a franchisee. So what they have done is given franchisees all over. They take their franchisee fee for letting them use the
brand.
name. That's it, brand. But if you don't implement your system of football, there's no point, because he's come to the Barcelona school to learn the Barcelona way of playing. Not learn from an Indian B license. So they used to give ads which used to say, okay, fine, we'll pay you very well. You need to be an A license or a B license. But an A license from India will not be teaching you the Barca innovation hub style.
Exactly. मैं सर वही ना, क्योंकि all three of us here are sitting and thinking from a football purist view कि हमें लगता है कि football, the best football is played in a 4-3-3 or is best played in a passing position. लेकिन दुनिया Praful Patel, sorry for that, but a politician sitting at the head of AIFF doesn't really have the credentials to make football related decisions, right?
See, bhai, it's not only about a politician. It's anyone who wants to. I'll tell you who should be head of Indian football. जिसको जब इंडिया अफगानिस्तान या बांग्लादेश से हारता है, जिसको दर्द होती है ना यहाँ पे, the president. I mean, the guy who does not is not bothered and it's just like another match for him. He should never be the president. A few days ago, Kushal Das made a statement that we are very, very lucky to have Mr. Praful Patel, and he gives me, I'm very lucky because he gives me in 1 week, he gives me a few minutes to chat about Indian football. Oh my God!
AIFF President.
Yes. So AFFC, I know he may be a very busy man. He's a very important man, but he can be busy in his own house and do his own business.
Exactly.
Because you need the president of AIFF to be only eating, sleeping, breathing football. That's it. That means his only thing in his life should be the development of Indian football. And as long as you have people whose first priority is not football and is something else, it will never develop. So it should never be a kind of an add-on ke mera ek aur medal lag gaya, I'm the president of this association and this association. Right. It has to be done with someone who knows the nuances of football from in and out and who's had that experience. So I'm not even saying, I'm not talking about myself, I'm saying even if it's a Baiching Bhutia, okay? But he should not be a politician. That means he should resign from his political party. And he should say, I'm going to be taking up this job fully. He can't use that to jumpstart his political career.
True.
So, you are also a revolutionary for us. Why don't you go ahead and do it?
See,
that was my question.
I think I'll be able to make much more of a difference from outside than inside, becoming part of the system. See, if I come there, there'll be half the AIFF which is now there will just die because they will not have any money to eat because I'll stop all the corruption. There is so much going on, and the amount of money these people have and the amount of money they're spending on the right things is unbelievable. For everything, they have a cut system going on. For example, even now, they're earning money when the coaches have their licenses, so they get an official cut. I'm not talking about unofficial, I'm talking about their official cuts. And they're the only organization who do that. So they get money out of the coaching licenses. So now they've started this. I've been fighting for this for the last 4 years, that to make it economically viable for academies to exist, you have to give them something known as solidarity payments. That means if that boy has come from your academy and he's made it big, so you get 1% or 0.5% of that amount, which makes it very viable for little small academies at the grassroots to work. So, as a FIFA member, it was a rule that if you're a FIFA member and you're getting our grants, you have to follow this rule. And they had not been doing it. So I'd been fighting for it. Now they've done it. But now they become the first organization to actually take 4% from every transfer as well. And they've got nothing to do with the transfer, but they want 4%. उन्होंने अपना हिस्सा रखा।
Football खिला रहे मेरा बैट।
मुझे भी चाहिए।
Vikram Pratap Singh was with me for 3 years and he was with CFA, Chandigarh Football Academy, for 3 years.
Okay.
He was with AIFF Elite Academy for 1 year. But they have sold him for 70, 80 lakhs. They've got all the money. Now come to us or to CFA. See, forget about us. We are a big academy. What about, suppose there's a small little academy in a village in Manipur or in Bengal.
Right.
That guy is a D licensed coach and he takes 50 rupees from 10 kids who come to him every month. So if he gets that 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees coming to him, imagine he will make sure 10 more kids like that come through. But if it's a loss-making thing for him to teach kids, he will only take kids at the age of 14, 15, 16, which he can sell to another academy like this, 20, 30, 40.
फिर कुछ मिलेगा नहीं.
Economically viable for him to even start at the age of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Right.
It's not true.
So, sir, when we talk about, we see that you were talking about so many different difficult policies that are not being implemented by AIFF. So, you were touted as someone to take the AIFF presidentship. I mean, there was talk. But if you had the opportunity, what would be the 5 policy changes or a few important policy changes that you think are needed right now in Indian football?
Immediately, number 1, make coaching affordable to everybody. In fact, I don't need to be president for it. I've already done it. They're still not taking my offer. I've told them to see, main cost of coaching is in the khana pina rehna of the coaches for the 1 month or 2 months they're there, plus the classrooms, plus the ground. They need a ground for practicing and they need kids for coming there and doing their sessions.
Yes,
so I made it all free. So it's not going to cost them a rupee. I'll take the entire cost of the entire course. And that's what we need to do. So imagine if I can produce 50 A licenses a month or 30 A licenses a month. That's 360 A licenses in a year. And that's already equal more than the number of A licenses we have in our country.
Wow.
That's what one person can do. And I'm willing to do it. And they should not have any ego problems. Okay, then immediately make sure that you start planning 20 years in advance. So Japan has a plan for the 2050 World Cup. That means those boys to win the World Cup. Those boys have not even been born yet, man.
Yeah.
That's how they're planning for it. And Praful Patel keeps on saying in 2014, we'll qualify in 18. In 18, he said we'll qualify in 22. Now he's saying we'll qualify in 26. See, then you have to have a, so basically second thing, so have a 20-year-old plan and then work towards that. Yeah. So you identify people 20 years in advance and then you work towards them. Exposure is not about giving kids, okay, 20 crore ka budget hai, World Cup under 17 aa gaya hai, so send them on a 20 country tour. Or we've given them exposure to 20 countries. No, they need to be given the exposure every single year.
Right.
Just one country is good enough, but every single year. Not 20 countries in 1 year. That's not exposure. Then on top of that, see bro, I can keep on talking about this now, right?
Please keep on going, sir. We're loving this.
So then you need to go and start making it compulsory to have 2 to 3 developmental players in the starting 11 of every team, and developmental players have to mean players produced from your own academy.
Okay.
Simple as that. Then you need to tell them that each team has to have compulsory. So they just made a very crappy statement a few days ago that everybody's giving them kudos at women's football compulsory. Yeah, which is bullshit. They have not made it compulsory. It's not mandatory. It is in category C. That means it's the choice of clubs whether to do it or not. But that's what it was last year also. It was a choice of clubs whether to have it. So there's no difference.
Yeah.
And they've just taken kudos for no rhyme or reason.
Exactly.
Make women's teams compulsory. It's not only women's team, women's academies. So starting from 13, 15, 18 compulsory. Because I believe we don't need to get a Mohamed Salah. We can even do with a Megan Rapinoe and she can make it. Because we have a chance of getting to the Women's World Cup faster than the men's.
Lesser competition.
Man. They're thrashing Maldives and Bangladesh and Afghanistan 6-7-0s like they're supposed to be thrashed. Whereas our men go and lose to them. So our women have a better chance. So let's support the women. So these are the things which come on top of the mind which can be done immediately and will have no cost to AIFF. So they say that he keeps on talking, but all the things I mentioned will be at 0 cost to AIFF. Why not?
And ultimate profits only, no? Because if you invest now, आगे 10 साल के बाद तो
इनको ही मिलेंगे. That's the point. They don't understand. They are going
सोच
to.
नहीं रहे.
Don't look. See, the main point is making them look that far ahead.
But that is the purest point of view, actually, sir. I think.
I've been doing it for 5 years and I've been spending my own money. And trust me, you can only be pure for some time. You have to look at it financially also. And that's what's worked. Me supporting my youth system has worked for me. I'm the only club to get up from the table in India after selling my club with a profit.
No, that was a big thing to happen, actually.
So see, I've proven it that you can get sponsors also. Apollo was a sponsor, being an IB club. You can do well in juniors and in senior without money. You can produce players for the country and win titles and also do well in senior football. And it's all, you don't require money to do that.
You need a belief.
Yes. Passion and hard work. So belief and then hard work towards it like crazy.
So, sir, when everyone was a little taken aback, at least amongst us and the people we talked to, when you decided to sell like the complete shares in Minerva Punjab FC. But now we see that you're going back to East Bengal. I mean, at least trying. There is.
See, with East Bengal, let me finish that there only. See, with East Bengal, I've grown up with East Bengal in Mohun Bagan. And being honest with you, without East Bengal in Mohun Bagan, there is no Indian football, at least yet there is not.
Exactly.
And so see, the health of Indian football right now will be decided by the health of these giants. Suppose we see these giants failing, we can never say Indian football is in good health. Simple as that.
Fair enough.
And when we say Indian football has been doing badly, it's because small clubs have been shutting down here and there. If we have one of these clubs failing, it's one of the biggest disasters for Indian football. So we saw what was happening. The time I made the offer, I saw what happened with ATK and Mohun Bagan. And right now, these guys, East Bengal, did not even have their sporting rights. So my aim was never to get them into the ISL. They could forget about ISL. They could not even play in CFL or forget about I-League also. Because sporting rights was the best. So aim was to get it back because that's the amount of money I had to get the sporting rights back. But then was to wait for an investor who can come and take the rights back from me because I know my money is safe. It will not go down the drain. It's not a bad investment. I'll get my money back. And I was even willing to sign a contract saying that, I don't want to make any profits. The aim is to wait for an investor, not just give it away to some opportunistic businessman who comes and says, change the color, change the logo and put my name in front of East Bengal.
Yeah.
And if you actually do that, you've just lost the legacy of 100 years again.
No, absolutely, sir. That is correct. But so since you've been such a stalwart of Indian football, I mean, almost single-handedly carrying Indian football, there's so many. I don't think anyone's done as much as you have. So when are we going to see a next Ranjit Bajaj?
See, my aim and my dream will come true. And one of my dreams, the main dream I have, is apparently the dream of each and every country, even every member of my country, I mean every citizen of my country. That means qualifying for the World Cup.
Yeah.
And it's our dream, your dream, Anand's dream, everybody's dream.
Sir.
And earlier our dream used to be that we have to see it once in our lifetime. My dream is to win the World Cup in my lifetime, but see it within 15 years. So we can't keep on thinking of that. We have to see of winning it also. जीतना World Cup है, that is मरने से पहले वाला. Immediate future में पहुंचना है हमने.
खेल के तो दिखा दो यार.
सर ये देखो winner butter chicken dinner sir. Winner butter chicken dinner.
Winner. Done. I'll take you up on that. See, I've realized after, and that's probably because I won so many titles. I've realized that titles do not give you that kind of maza. I mean, yes, you become champion. Yes, you're national champions. You're the best in the country in that age group or even seniors. But, every year there's a new champion. Legacy is producing players for your country and when they do something really great. Because when William Opoku scored that winning goal for us in the I-League and we won the I-League, it was a really happy moment for me and probably a few thousand people with me. But when Jackson scored that goal for India, 1.3 billion people were cheering.
वो moment था.
वो था moment, भाई.
सब खड़े थे ऐसे.
50 yards say to beat Argentina's keeper under 20 and we beat them. That was the moment. When Himanshu's getting such trophies of scoring 5 goals against Maldives and against Sri Lanka and Bhutan, which Indian strikers should be doing, that's the moment. So I've learned that titles will not give you happiness. They do, but the kind of happiness you get when your country does well is unmatchable. So the entire now dream and focus has shifted, and thankfully I've been able to do it so fast because I've won it all, and now I know that the real dream is this, and it's a long-term dream. So it's going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of passion. But guys, if 3 lakh people can do it, so can we. Definitely.
Absolutely, sir.
So all of us are management students. You have also had a very successful managerial career as far as your own achievements are concerned. So all of us are want to get more involved with the sport. So FootballChacha as an entity, we're trying to get more into the ISL and I League scenario. So how do you think we can make an impact and try to bring up the youth and try to impact more people?
You guys, I think you guys should tie up with a sports university, or even in India or abroad. Right. Nowadays, all courses are online and they're free. Most of them are free, especially to do with football management, and those are offered free. So you start offering these courses to management students for free. So you can't offer a bit management degrees. I'm talking about add-on stuff. So suppose dealing with marketing in COVID-19 situations, collecting sponsorships in COVID-19 situations, and there are courses like that, and you just have to lead them on. Yes. Basically making sure your generation is not left back because of actual work experience which they could have got. So using this time, so the degrees will be the same, but who will get the job now? The ones who have those extra things which they have got. So suppose somebody has got a degree in CPR and first aid, and also has got a degree in how to handle a COVID patient or COVID-19 marketing, or the safekeeping of the facility in a COVID-19 situation. And that guy will obviously be given more preference. Then doing a course, other than courses, guiding people. So suppose at this time, there's a foundation, Dream 11 has the foundation. Yeah. They're working in association with me. So not only football people, so the coaches, linesmen, groundsmen, players, anyone who's in dire need of money or financial assistance or of assistance to make sure his diet is proper or his coaching is there, there's a foundation there to help. So getting those people in touch with them. And anyway, see, as I'm saying, every person can do the little bit. And as long as you use your platform and you make difference to even one person, it's worth it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be important, to reach out to those people who are actually in need and get them to a person who can
connect them to the right people. You're the go-between. So, you know, that is as good as giving it to him as well, because otherwise, if you weren't there, he would have never got to know.
Yeah, definitely. So, sir, one thing I want to ask you, and it's more of a philosophical question. You've already touched upon this a little, but to go in a little more detail, what is legacy to you?
See, like I said, legacy earlier used to be winning titles and winning trophies and being there for a long time and being consistency and being performing at the consistency for a long time, being in the top echelons of football. Whereas legacy for me now is, which I totally believe, is producing players for your country, because that makes an impact more than titles does. Producing players for your country is something which every academy can aspire to be. See, earlier there used to be TFA, Tata Football Academy, and people used to say, oh my God, they're doing a great job. They were. And now there's Minerva, and they say we are doing a great job. Okay, we are. But we don't need one Tata and one Minerva. We need 100 Minervas. Exactly. If we need to reach there, we need 100 of us, 100 of Tatas, and then we'll get there. So I think legacy would be as important what you do with your juniors than with your seniors.
I think that's great, sir. I think just to wrap it up, the last question, more like an advice that we want from you, because you've been there, done it all, everywhere. Any advice that you have for young football fans and young football enthusiasts like us, or younger maybe? I think we're old now.
Guys, especially for all the sports management boys out there like you guys, whenever you require any motivation or any advice, I am here 24/7 for you guys. So I've told you always that it's not about developing football players. I have to develop not only FootballChacha as a medium, but you guys as to management students and football fans of getting their word across. Because suppose he's going to be a fan, but he's so disoriented. But suppose I talk to him for 1 minute, that takes his interest for 2 more years in supporting football in India because an owner has responded to him. So any difference we can make is great. And that's not only at my level, it's at everybody's level. But guys, I would give you the advice that stop trying to compete with somebody who's doing well, because he's not your competition. Your competition is you. Even if you want to be the world's best, still your competition is you, because you have to be better than what you were yesterday to reach the level of the world champion. You can't compete with the world champion straight away, but if you are actually better than what you were yesterday on a daily basis, you will beat that guy. But it has to be on a daily basis. And consistency, but hard work. And consistency, hard work, never giving up. The 3 secrets of success. If you don't give up, nobody can beat you. Understand, it's that simple. You are unbeatable till the time you actually give up. That's when you're out of the race. Right. So until you've given up, you're still in the race and you will win it.
Yeah, I think there was a saying about Manchester United in the Alex Ferguson days. They were never defeated; they just ran out of time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I feel in so many matches when we are losing 2-1. Oh shit, we run out of time. Exactly.
Awesome.
All right, sir. I think we'll wrap this up now. It was lovely having you, Mr. Ranjit Bajaj, and it was an honor and pleasure. And you've been so kind to us. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure, guys. In fact, I had another webinar, as you guys saw. So the energy level there and now, you can see the difference when I'm actually talking to Purus, and I've been able to put my heart up. So I loved it. Thank you so much, guys. It's awesome being here, and I'd love to do this again anytime.
So one last question.
Yeah.
What t-shirt आपका बहुत cool है? Where can we get one of that?
So Anand, Kartikeya, and Tarun has my number as well. So Tarun, if you send me your postal address, I'm sending you one each like that.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Awesome, sir.